Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Naked Bigfoot's channel. I know you haven't seen me in a while, but I felt the need to share with you a very interesting story of my past. And as most of you well know, I've led a very interesting life, and been involved in many supernatural and paranormal situations and experiences. This one in particular involves a character, a southern boogeyman. Well, at least I thought he was a boogeyman until I spoke to people about him and realized he's a little bit more scarier than the boogeyman. He's called the Skinnerman. Let's start off by giving you a little background leading how I personally discovered and was able to learn about what this being known as the Skinner or the Skinnerman, how I learned about him. Well, you see, it was during the 80s. I was traveling the country. As a lot of people know this part of my story, I traveled the country, trying to discover myself and trying to find a faith and a spirituality that would help me define the rest of my life. And I happened to, about mid-80s, I happened to find myself in Savannah, Georgia. And see, as I traveled, I was always drawn to, stories and sightings of things like lake monsters, strange things that happened, that people would see Bigfoot, Sasquatch, goblins, ghost sightings. Whenever I'd hear that as I was traveling, I would always make a point to go visit the locations of the sightings or go talk to the people who witnessed it. And in this case, what drew me to Savannah was there was a young man who had been arrested under suspicion that he killed 2 children outside of Savannah, in a small community outside of Savannah. And a lot of the local swamp people who lived there, they suspected the boy was a werewolf. They called him a werewolf, some type of shape-shifting monster. And I wanted to go and see if it was true. And while I was there, that's when I first learned of the Skinnerman, which I'll be happy to tell you and share with you in part 2.